Look out into the open ocean, and it's easy to feel small. The sea is a realm of giants. Today, the blue whale holds the title of the largest animal on Earth, gliding peacefully through the water, filtering plankton. But wind the clock back 15 million years, and the oceans were a very different, far more violent place. Back then, whales weren't just peaceful giants. They were prey, hunted by a predator so massive, so incredibly destructive, that its very existence feels like a myth. A biological submarine armed with jaws that could swallow a car whole. This was the undisputed king of the ancient seas, the monster that hunted whales for breakfast.
Welcome back to Primeval Veil. Time has buried Earth's most fascinating secrets, but today we are plunging into the abyssal depths to pull back the curtain on a lost world. If you are captivated by the mysteries of nature, evolution, and the apex predators that ruled long before us, you've found your home. Make sure to subscribe, because today we are diving into the Miocene epoch to come face to face with the ultimate apex predator of the deep, Otodus Megalodon. When most people picture the Megalodon, they imagine a great white shark just magically scaled up to the size of a school bus. But science paints a very different and arguably more terrifying picture. Megalodon was not closely related to the great white at all. It belonged to an entirely different lineage of sharks, known as the megatooth sharks, a family tree that spent millions of years perfecting the art of extreme gigantism. Reaching lengths of up to 60 feet, nearly 20 meters, and weighing a staggering 50 to 70 tons, this was a creature built for absolute dominance. It didn't just cruise through the oceans, it owned them. To understand why the Megalodon was so successful, you only need to look at its mouth. Its jaws spanned nearly 9 feet across, but the true horror lay in the teeth. They were thick, robust, and could grow over 7 inches long, roughly the size of an adult human's hand. While a great white's teeth are relatively flat, designed for slicing through soft flesh, the Megalodon's teeth were heavily reinforced. They were built to withstand immense pressure. Why? Because the Megalodon possessed the strongest bite force of any creature to ever live on Earth. Estimated at up to 40,000 pounds per square inch, its jaws were engineered to bite straight through solid whalebone. This unparalleled bite force was necessary for its specific diet. The Megalodon didn't waste its time chasing small fish. To sustain its massive bulk, it needed high-calorie meals. It hunted prehistoric whales, specifically a group of small to medium-sized baleen whales known as ceteris. But how does a 50-ton shark hunt? Like a guided missile. Fossilized whale bones from the Miocene epoch tell a brutal story. Paleontologists have found whale vertebrae and ribs crushed and completely sheared in half by megalodon teeth. The shark would use its dark coloration to blend into the depths, spotting the silhouette of a whale swimming above. Then, with a burst of immense power, it would accelerate upward, ambushing the whale from below. It didn't just bite to bleed its prey out, it targeted the chest cavity, crushing the heart and lungs in a single catastrophic strike. But the Megalodon wasn't the only nightmare lurking in these ancient waters. In a terrifying twist of evolutionary fate, it shared the oceans with another apex predator of equal menace, Livyatan melvillei. Named after the biblical sea monster, Livyatan was a prehistoric sperm whale, but unlike modern sperm whales that hunt squid, Livyatan hunted other whales. It had teeth over a foot long, the largest biting teeth of any known animal. For millions of years, these two titans, the ultimate shark and the killer whale of the ancient world, swam in the same waters, competing for the exact same prey. It was a true clash of the titans, an arms race of teeth and terror that pushed the limits of biological engineering. Despite its invincibility as an adult, the Megalodon had a hidden weakness: its young. A pregnant megalodon couldn't just give birth in the deep, dangerous open ocean. Instead, females migrated to shallow, warm coastal waters to use them as nurseries. Places like the ancient coasts of Panama and South Carolina were once teeming with baby megalodons. Here, protected from larger predators of the deep, the young sharks fed on fish and small marine mammals. It was a perfect system, as long as the world remained warm and the coastlines remained stable.
But the Earth is a restless planet. Around 3 million years ago, the climate began to shift drastically. The Pliocene epoch brought a global cooling event. The Isthmus of Panama closed, cutting off warm ocean currents. Ice caps at the poles began to freeze, dropping global sea levels. The shallow, warm coastal nurseries that the megalodon relied on to protect its young began to dry up and disappear. Suddenly, the perfect biological machine was facing an enemy it couldn't simply bite through: a changing planet. As the oceans cooled, the megalodon's food source, the baleen whales, adapted. Whales developed thicker blubber and began migrating to the freezing, nutrient-rich waters of the newly formed poles. The megalodon, a warm water shark, simply could not follow them into the freezing ice. To make matters worse, a new wave of highly intelligent, fast-moving predators was evolving. The ancestors of the modern great white shark and the first predatory killer whales, the orcas, entered the scene. They were smaller, required less food, hunted in packs, and began outcompeting the juvenile megalodons. Starved of prey, stripped of their nurseries, and outmaneuvered by smaller rivals, the reign of the megatooth shark slowly collapsed. The monster that had ruled for 20 million years simply faded into the abyss.
Today, all that remains of the greatest predator the ocean has ever seen are scattered fossilized teeth, washing up on our shores like dark omens from the deep. They serve as a humbling reminder: no matter how big, how powerful, or how dominant an animal becomes, no one is immune to the turning of the Earth's gears. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the Primeval Veil. If you felt the chill of the ancient ocean, make sure to leave a like and tell us in the comments what prehistoric mystery you'd like us to uncover next. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, keep looking beyond the veil.